Caffeine is the world's most popular natural stimulant, and it's no wonder why, because it can help with concentration, it can help with focus, it can help with aesthetic performance, and also does actually aid us in some of the realms of fat loss. It's also obviously a great social tool because everyone likes to go for a coffee. Everyone has a different natural and acquired tolerance to caffeine, and this obviously depends on how much caffeine you ingest on a daily basis and also your weight, but can also change from a day-to-day level and also based on the time of the day. So obviously when we wake up in the morning, we can have different energy levels and different caffeine tolerance as in the evening. And it also depends again on energy levels and how we're feeling that day. And this is a really key point that we should always ask ourselves, are we having caffeine because we want it, or are we having caffeine because we need it? Now, if it's because we want it, then this can be really, really great for the reasons that I said earlier. So a bit of a concentration boost, better workout performance, increased alertness. But if we're having it because we need it to function or just to stay awake or just to actually get us through the workout that we're doing or to ensure that we are essentially a fully functioning human in the morning, then this is where I'd really like you to try and dial it back. Often with that morning coffee that we feel like we need to start the day, it's just as much the mental aspect of having a hot drink first thing in the morning as it is the physical aspect and the effects of the caffeine. But you have told yourself that it's the caffeine, so you'd never let it go. And you need that coffee in the morning. It's the same for that afternoon slump coffee that a lot of us have at 4 p.m. or so. Now, with this case, I would like you to challenge yourself. So with one of those cups of coffee, potentially just don't have it. So maybe don't start with your morning one if you feel like that gives you anxiety, but try with the 4 p.m. one. See what happens if you have just a hot water with a fruit tea or a decaf coffee instead. See how the lack of caffeine actually makes you feel and whether it is almost a bit of a placebo effect. Even what you could do to further test yourself is ask one of your colleagues, when you make me a coffee, don't even tell me which one it is, but just make it decaf. So then you don't even know, and then you really can test to see if it's a bit of a placebo or if it's genuinely the caffeine that is keeping you going. Now, what we really don't want is also to feel like we're completely bouncing off the walls with too much coffee or too jittery either. Research shows us that theanine works in tandem alongside caffeine to allow that deeper sense of concentration and energy. So if you do want the caffeine for working out and helping you with that performance level of working out, then look for the theanine ingredient inside your pre-workout, and that will be that real sweet spot of energy. But remember, I have discussed with you that you don't need supplements. That is like the icing and the cherry on the cake. And if you feel like you do need that pre-workout for the energy or to actually get your butt into the gym or down to the living room to work out, then maybe you need to refresh your memory on rest and recovery and revisit those videos because your answer might lie in there rather than in caffeine. So with regards to pre-workout on a caffeine basis, just to clear that up, it's more because you want that extra level rather than because you can't do it without it. And just to quickly summarise, I think it's pretty obvious, but I'm just going to cover it for you anyway. Don't have coffee too close to bedtime. Obviously, that time is different for everyone. For some people, it's going to be 5-6 hours. For some people, it might only be 2 or 3. But you can work this out for yourself. It's going to leave you with too much energy before you go to bed, and then you're not going to be able to sleep. Also, the recommended amount of caffeine for an adult is 400 milligrams. That is approximately 4 cups of coffee per day. So to not exceed that would be great. And if you are, then try one of the tips that I said earlier. Either get one of your colleagues to swap it out or swap it out yourself for a decaf or a fruit tea or a different kind of drink. Then, in terms of if you're having coffee before you work out, don't have it too soon before you work out because this can actually mean that the caffeine's going to wear off and then you'll probably be in a lower energy state than you were before you even started. So I would say anything between 15-20 minutes is absolutely fine. The caffeine will kick in, you'll have a big boost for your workout and then it will wear off in time for you to finish your workout. Finally, remember to have it when you want it rather than when you need it because that will put you in a much more stable place in terms of your energy. So to summarise, caffeine is great, it's sociable, it tastes good and it can give you that energy boost, but use it wisely, don't use it only when you need it and don't overuse it. Enjoy your coffee!